What's up guys, it's Town here, and in today's video we have highlights of Pollo's insane 38 elimination win in the finals of the Victory Cup. Pollo in this video already has 2 eliminations and he already has the medallion and the Peter Griffin shotgun. But before we jump in, take a look at the loadout here because it is incredibly important to note what other weapon he's carrying. He's carrying the rapid fire SMG, and if you are trying to W key and get high eliminations in the Victory Cup Open Sim Finals, this is the weapon you need to be carrying. Now Pollo, already rotating out of this drop, notices an opponent that is boxed up here. This is an easy indication for Pollo to key here. He simply double edits down here and gets a free elimination onto this opponent. Now he sees a fight going on at this house and starts off the fight with a significant amount of damage. He does a good job there of shooting the shotgun on the wall to ensure that he can quickly get through. Now, as you already have seen, there's another opponent here, and look, that opponent disengages. However, he still has good fundamentals. Instead of going directly onto his wall right here, he makes sure to place the opponent between him and the third party. He quickly sprays with the rapid fire SMG and sees the opponent go up and simply hits him with a cone here. The opponent, due to the rain, cannot build behind his back and he gets a free elimination. See this opponent in water here? He starts off with a fantastic shield crack, and I want you to take note of this technique that he does here. See how instead of placing 1 ramp, he places 2? This makes it incredibly difficult for the opponent to predict that he's going to be over here and not over here. He does a good job of spraying here, and you're going to see him attempt to get this wall, which is not claimed. However, he's going to be unsuccessful as it only places here. They end up trading, but due to good crosshair placement, Pollo is going to win this trade right here as the opponent edits. See that? Now, he's going to let the medallion heal him instead of taking the big here, and he's at such significant health advantage. He takes advantage of the fact that the opponent is healing and doesn't have the wall reset, and he gets a free elimination. Once again, sees an opponent boxed up in early zones. This is an easy indication to use the rapid fire SMG to key. Now, if that opponent wants to not get found out, you need to hide in buildings against pros. Now, this was a little bit of a mistake. What you can see there is just 50-50 in, and he nearly went down there. But to drop these high kill games, sometimes you got to take a risk. Good setup here. They end up trading halfway, but let's take a look at the edit flow here, which allows him to be so successful. He smacks. Good crosshair placement. He barely wins this trade. They're about the same HP, but pressures, and then looks how he edits top down and where he lands. He's right in front of the wall, jumps, and hits a fantastic jump shot, catching the opponent off guard. Now this opponent is going to run a little while with the use of the grapple here, but Pollo is going to eventually catch up to him. Do you see why the SMG is so good here? The pressure is relentless. And he does the exact same thing as kind of previously. He makes sure to slide in a couple cones right here, traps him on the same layer just like we saw previously, and then edits down where the opponent's going to be. He does this as a 50-50 because he's at health advantage and gets a free elimination here. Now we're up to 9 eliminations, but we're going to continue here. He sees that opponent has a medallion, and that's something he obviously really wants to get because it makes his W king a lot easier. Places a lot of cones to control space. Sees that the opponent goes up there and then edits back down. He makes sure to cover all sides, which is also incredibly smart. Look how many medallions in the top right are around him. I really like the protected approach here, but the opponent is kind of very difficult to find since this layer down below is so scuffed. Now he has great reaction time here, hitting him for a max damage shot as the opponent just runs directly at him, trying to run away. Now with the grapple, he gets a free elimination here. Fantastic aim with the gold. And like again, what is the constant theme? If you are a person in a game with a professional player, do not box up because you're going to get W keyed. You need to be somewhere that's hidden, preferably inside a building. They're going to be running around trying to W key people that are boxed up. We've seen this a lot thus far. Hits that opponent for 40. Good pickaxe bait, doesn't double swing here. Good reload manage as well, reloading the shotgun. And this rapid fire SMG is fantastic. There's just so much pressure that opponents usually cannot breathe when you have this weapon in your inventory. And it's obviously modded with a reload mag, or a faster reload mag. He's doing a good job here of just pressuring constantly. Now he finally is rewarded there with the SMG bleed through. Now, misses a shot there. That could have probably ended the fight a little bit faster. This fight is taking a little bit longer probably than Pollo would have liked, but he isn't losing any HP right here. Good job right there. Again, same thing with the technique. A great way to make sure that fights end faster. It's a little minor thing, but it's incredibly important. When someone places piece control over you, you're trying to take a wall or something, get it weaker with the shotgun bullet, and then as the opponent just lets you do the work for you, places the piece control, and he ends up cleaning this fight. Once again, same exact thing. If you want to not get eliminated by a pro, do not box up here in early zones. You're gonna get W key, because it consistently happens a ton, especially in the cone. Now jumps on the wall, the opponent edits instantly. He slides in a cone here, takes it, only hits a damage shot, minimal 60. Now he's gonna make another mistake here. This is a nice wide edit. He only hits him for 108. This would probably be a good time to place the floor and then edit a right hand peek here instead, because he's nearly gonna go down here because the opponent has the mythic shotgun and nearly goes down to 4 HP. And that's really especially something you gotta be aware of with the auto. And once again, look at that. Another person boxed up is gonna get W keyed. The opponent immediately jive and box. So this is really good to see how they approach. When someone, you know, is investing this amount of materials, this can take a significant amount of time. Just look at Pollo constantly pressuring, jumping at different angles. Now he actually loses the trade there. The opponent continuing to use a significant amount of materials. The medallions are also going to allow him to heal, so he doesn't have to worry. Good peek right there. He gives the guy too much credit here. Notice how he forced in the cone and then expected him to edit down, which did not happen. But as the fight continues to stall, he just actually decides to pop the big here and slow things down and kind of reset this entire fight. Now the opponent is going to try and run away with the grapple. He's going to also go to an old body, which is going to give him a good amount of materials, maybe an extra 100. Good crosshair placement there. There's not much to say. He just wins that crosshair placement. Same thing, we got another person significantly using a lot of mats. Now this time he should have blocked his back earlier. Look at that rapid fire SMG pressure. It's so hard for the opponents to breathe. Gets to where the wall is weak, finally gets it, but instead of going through all that congestion, look, he just immediately goes back up. So much faster, catches the opponent editing on him, hits him for a massive shot. Rapid fire SMG once again bleeding through a significant amount of builds. Eats only a little bit of damage. Now he goes through the congestion because that's where the opponent is, and then he just phases through with the rapid fire SMG, and now he has a significant amount of medallions. I believe he has 4. Same thing, if you're boxed up, you're gonna get W key by the pro, especially in wood. 20. Now actually does a good job here. Now this is fantastic. This is all fight IQ. Notice how he's getting third party here. Instead of falling from underneath here, he does the same thing he did with that second elimination, right? He puts the opponent between him and the third party, and what ends up happening is perfectly what you want to happen. He takes the wall, and then as the opponent is forced to hold his back, you can't cover 180 degrees, right? It's basically using that person to get you this free elimination. It's a small thing, but it's very important. This opponent's 1 HP. The rapid fire SMG just makes this fight so easy, especially against wood. Now this is a very scuffed angle. Notice right here, when he takes the wall, he actually takes the wall and cone at the same time. He actually gets a blank there somehow, and is eating a significant amount of storm damage. With no whites, this is really not the best. He does get one flop. Excuse me, he did have floppers. The opponent does a good job of running away. Pollo, once again, fantastic though. Pressure, you can see how effective the rapid fire SMG is. Covering his angles because now he's getting towards the end game. The opponent's doing a pretty decent job. Pollo nearly getting that. Eats a minimal damage shot. Still trying to run away. This fight is dragging again a little bit longer than Pollo would have probably liked. But kind of the same principle. He gets shot from there and make sure to cover his angles. And that opponent is once again being the one third partied. Notice how it's yellow here. So that's what allows him to get up, and that's what allows him to win the fight. Just making sure there was yellow there and timing that perfectly. Right on an opponent's wall. Hits him for a significant amount of damage. Good crosshair placement. Not much to say about that elimination. Takes it with the shotgun when it's 1 HP. Places the floor and cone. Exactly. Another good thing here is the clicks exploit. When that wall is 1 HP, there's just a good couple wall techniques right there. And also placing the piece control. So you have that wall's 1 HP, 18. Takes it with the shotgun. Good amount of pressure, good crosshair placement, and then places the floor and cone to trap on the same layer. Hits him with the shotgun. Same thing, and then he's going to get the wall 1 HP, jump in, use the clicks exploit as the opponent tries to pre-fire, and gets another easy elimination. Now, this opponent I feel very bad for. We're starting to get into the moving zones where we're really just going to focus on endgame fundamentals as opposed to overt W keying. Now, this opponent is on very scuffed terrain. He phases yellow, and unfortunately ends up going down here. But, you know, now this is really just capitalization. Notice how he covers all his angles this time. Because he's in the end game, he needs to make sure to cover all his angles. He takes it as the opponent looks incredibly confused. He knows to W key and push this opponent, and then just takes it first try and hits a massive shot. Just basic fundamentals, aim mechanics. Catches an opponent rotating too freely. Now, makes a minor mistake. I don't believe he intended to fall down there, but he's W keying, so zone doesn't really matter to him. Now, this is a very awkward spot for this opponent to be in, and this could get you in a lot of trouble, but the crosshair placement is what wins him here. He hits it for a little bit of damage. I think he tried to place a cone there, but that didn't end up working, but good crosshair placement on the head. He's able to easily win that shot. Same thing, use the rapid fire SMG to take the wall quick. That opponent is shambles, free elimination, not much to talk about or diagnose there. Now we got a max pull here, and we're going to still see a significant amount of eliminations. Nice clear rotation, and then he just jumps W key. Let's take a look at this here because it's important. So first, covering angles, very important. Look at where his crosshair is, right on the opponent's head, right? And then he phases in a ramp. I think he does that for protection. However, the opponent phases it, so it actually kind of works in his favor there. Popped a big and then immediately go. Hits that opponent for 100 plus, eating a little bit of damage from behind. And then just smartly just target selection, right? He hits that opponent for a good amount of damage. 108. Eats a little bit of damage, he doesn't care, right? Claims the wall, sees that it's weak, and then once again uses the shotgun to damage weak structures. Free elimination. Now, Pollo capitalized on something that's very important. When you're in the finals, it's incredibly crucial to secure refreshes. And this is what gets this opponent killed. We're going to talk about it from, let's say you're this player. He needs to slowly and carefully, cautiously claim this. Just running after this loot is going to get you easily eliminated, and that's exactly what happens. Make sure you're securing refreshes. Again, very important. Almost, I actually just missed what ended up happening here. Oh, opponent's just setting in his cone, and that's a free elimination as well. He's cap mat, so he doesn't really need to grab anything. He's not really concerned about materials. And so look at that, right? This is just game sense awareness. I'm 555. There's no way on earth that this person has more materials than me. So he just starts building up. Get some nice high walls. This is such a good technique to do. Most people double edit through. It's a G money move. And as the opponent's trying to either continue to build height or run away, hits it for 68. And once again, uses that clicks exploit. So huge to end fights. Clicks exploit, shoots the shotgun. Again, same fundamentals. Shoots the shotgun to get the wall weak. Uses the clicks exploit and catches the opponent off guard. Incredibly important W King fundamentals to end fights quickly. Sprays through here. This opponent drops down. This is so good recognition of where this opponent is going. So he sprays him off down. This opponent says, I don't want anything to part of it. He's probably shambles in these ways because he's in wood. He cuts off the angle. Boom, hits for 150 in the air. And the grid crosshair placement easy. Now, he does get caught off guard here. Eats a significant amount of damage. But he has so many materials, he essentially just 90s for a little bit. Even at 66 HP, he also has a lot of medallions, which gives him some confidence, but he gets some chip damage. This hurts the confidence of that other player. And look at that, double edit down. Now that opponent's a little bit more scared to play aggressive. And then as the opponent just runs away, and that's exactly, he just essentially, for lack of a word, scares them off height. Hits a first significant amount of damage, and actually the opponent falls to his death, and he's reclaimed high ground. Heading down here now, we're going for eliminations, and this is where something you would obviously not do if you were just trying to get the $100. Now, I like initially placing those 2 ramps to protect off the sides. However, he's caught double swinging, and he eats a good amount of damage. And as he's trying to elevate, notice another mistake here, right? He's taking a med kit without full protection. So double swing hits, you know, now we're at 100 HP. Now this opponent gets him free because he didn't place it back, and he's worried about taking the med kit. But he quickly just elevates, uses what mats he has, notices there's an opponent above him, and then begins to take his med kit, and everything's fine. The medallions are going to heal him up as well. He doesn't even have to worry about it big. No true high ground. Sprays this opponent. Now he has to get this refresh if he wants to continue to win this game. Fantastic job. Now this is so important and it's so small. Securing refreshes. Look at the type of refresh he gets here. Imagine if he just lets that all fall to the ground. It's such a small, minor thing. But look at that. He got 500 materials out of that. That's the refresh he needed. And then now he can push up on a high ground, sees an opponent not placing any piece control in the box, it throws in a cone. Now, once again, walls 1 HP, sprays through, 50. And I love this right here, because it's not conventional. So, look at this right here. This is a left-hand peek, but this is something that Arkham used to do incredibly well with edit flow, is editing to where the opponent is in situations where, you know, precise pinks aren't everything. Like, we just got the wall. The opponent just shot you, right? And again, he's going to have advantage because this is an auto shotgun in the opponent's hands, and this is a pump shotgun. So he edits at a left-hand peek, but this is exactly where the opponent is. If you edit a peanut butter here, the opponent, if you edit on the other side, I should say, the peanut butter, the opponent's going to be essentially protected. But hits it for 145. And then just sprays through again. Huge for the rapid fire SMG. Really just bleed through builds. Catches the opponent taking a mini here, nothing much to say. And so now, really good attempt there, just wasn't able to capitalize. Now this opponent doesn't have any materials, so he can feel very confident. Gets the elimination. Now look at his mats, doesn't care, right? He has 800 builds going to last zone. He's not really worried about materials. He can make these last. Cracks that opponent. Now, once again, doesn't really need the materials. More than likely that opponent's going to go there. And notice he doesn't even acknowledge that the opponent's above him because more than likely that opponent is shambles, so he's going to drop down on this refresh. That's why he's not even paying attention to where he's going. He's going to realize he's going to go down for that refresh, and that's exactly what happens. He has the materials, so he's going to immediately place a wall here, crack him for 108. Look at this technique right here. Boom. He gets up this high wall right here, right? Not a true high wall, but 100. Covers his head. Edits. Notice how the opponent's jumping, right? He was trying to get that refresh. Pollo saw that he didn't get that refresh. Hits it for a significant amount of damage. Resets. Now take a look at the momentum. Immediately placing cones where the opponent's going to go. This opponent doesn't have anything. And then edits through. And the opponent then has to hit a max damage shot. And look at the crosshair. Place it. Hits a 1 pump. And that is how Pollo dropped a insane 38 elimination victory royale in the finals of the Victory Cup. That is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's VOD review. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.